Oh, yeah. There we go.
All right, then. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Breaking the Base. It's your boy Narik and your boy Ken on the scene once again, at it again. We are on the episode 71 of Breaking the Base, and we're going to circle around and we're going to jump back on Spider-Man train and have a good old time with our friendly neighborhood web-slinger. So, Ken, let me know what you think about Spider-Man, and let's go ahead and pick up where we left off, wherever the hell we left off the last time we talked about.
I know we weren't talking about Homecoming yet because we didn't want to talk about Homecoming because it wasn't quite out yet, and he had just made his appearance in Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
So, looking at the future of the Spider-Man series movies, we got Civil War, which is his first appearance. We got Spider-Man Homecoming coming out here in July? Yeah, July 7th is what it says. But I don't think that's right. I thought that movie wasn't until next year.
The Homecoming?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, that's this year.
Oh, man. Brain damage. So, yeah, we got Homecoming coming out July 17th. Looks like Spider-Man is going to make an appearance in Infinity War and Infinity War 2. And they've even already, right now, projected a 2019 release of Spider-Man Homecoming 2. So we got a lot of Spider-Man movies forthcoming up. I'm more interested in seeing how Homecoming is, because this is the first full-fledged movie with our new Spider-Man. You know, basically he just kind of made a very quick entrance into Civil War, which I actually really liked it. I liked the new guy. I like it's, in fact, as we said last time, every Spider-Man movie that we've seen, Spider-Man gets younger and younger, and Aunt May gets younger and younger.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, they're going to have Spider-Man as a baby and Aunt May as a teenager.
Hey, let's not play with that. They got Miles Morales, and he was like, what, 15?
Well, you know, they got all kind of stuff for Spider-Man. I've had actually several different Spider-Mans, too.
Yeah.
But, you know, we got Melissa Torme playing Aunt May. You know, we had Tom Holland coming on board as the new Spider-Man. And what else we got going on? And the new Homecoming, which is going to be really cool because I'm actually kind of excited to this. We're going to see the Vulture make an appearance, played by Michael Keaton. Very awesome.
Awesome. Straight up.
We're going to see Tony Stark showing up there as and doing a dual role, Tony Stark Iron Man. You know, because basically he's taking Spider-Man under his wing, which is kind of different. You know, in the normal comic series, you know, Peter Parker was a pretty smart feller anyway.
Yeah.
And most of his technology he built himself. So, I mean, he was smart enough to develop it. But it's kind of an interesting role because I guess it's either because he's such a younger Spider-Man or younger character in the series that, you know, we're bringing, you know, Tony Stark in to kind of, you know, help him out with the technology part, even though the kid's kind of smart, but he just doesn't have the money to do it, I guess. You know, how did he afford it last time? That's a good question. Yeah. How did Peter Parker, you know, he was hardly ever at work. He was always too busy playing Spider-Man. Where did he get his money?
Mm-hmm.
Good question. But the Vulture character looks very cool. The background of the movie is basically that the Vulture and his gang, instead of being the smart businessman like he was in the older character, you know, competing in the old style comic books, he's more of a technological, what do you call it? The weapons guy.
Weapon engineer.
Well, he takes technology. You know, he's taken, like, you know, when we had the Avengers movie here, the first Avengers movie, when the Chitauri came on, you know, and they left a lot of their stuff lying around. He pilfered that technology. Some of it got reverse engineered and was kind of doing a black market's weapon market.
Did not know that. I didn't know that.
And that's what I thought was kind of interesting in this new Homecoming movie, is that the Vulture is not the rich, wealthy guy he was in the original comic series. It's very interesting because he's going to be, you know, the weapons guy. Because you see a lot in the trailers. There's a particular scene in one of the trailers where the Vulture fires off what looks like a bluish purple plasma weapon, and it just cuts this boat in half. And that was from, you know, research tech for the Vulture.
Okay.
Also, you're going to see the Shocker. which, yeah, he's going to be in there. Well, actually, the character kind of starts out, if you remember from, what was it, Civil War, you had Crossbones in there after Captain America.
Yeah.
Crossbones had those freaking power fists, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And he punched Black Widow with it, knocked her out. Got a couple good licks on Captain America, and he eventually ended up getting his butt blown up. Those gloves are recovered by the Vulture's team, and the very first guy you run into the movie. I'm seeing if they got his name here. He's not called the Shocker yet. He ends up getting, I guess, the guy who has him gets beat up, and another guy takes him and engineers him and puts the electroshock stuff into it.
I want to know. I'm interested in seeing. Are they going to go with the original Shocker design, or are they going to go with the reboot?
He's kind of a half and half. I was trying to find it because it was an article I read about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was giving you a little more in depth because they talked about. Somebody said, "Is that the Shocker?"
Yeah,
now, the Shocker we know is usually a yellow suit, has the big electric gauntlets, and he's able to project energy bolts pretty well. But in this one, he's kind of more of one of the grunts who's smart enough to reverse the technology a little bit and adds a little extra ooh la la factor. And
I think that would help with his character developing the weapons too, because I like him in the comics, but if he could make that, he made that technology like from nothing. And I think if they reverse engineer the Chitauri, I think that's a more plausible way of bringing that into the real world.
Yeah, to the market. He's a scrounger. He's black market weapons dealing basically with alien technology, and other technologies as well. So it's very interesting that they changed a little bit of the Michael Keaton Vulture character. So I'm very interested about that. And he looks freaking cool. When he's got those vulture wings and he's flying around and causing all kind of trouble, he looks pretty badass.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the design of it.
It's just kind of like we go back to Spider-Man when we had our first viewing of the Goblin. I was like, whoa, what the heck? It gave me goosebumps when he comes flying around. He's like, and he's got the bat wings and stuff. And I was like, man, that was so awesome. And I'm very excited to do that. I'm going to be curious about Melissa Torme and playing Aunt May. How much does this Aunt May know about Peter's side business? That's a good question. Who else we got in here? I'm trying to go through some of the cast members real quick. I was trying to find that article, but I'm not finding it at the moment. But it was pretty cool, though. So we're going to see a lot of cool stuff. The suit. Let's talk about the suit, because there's a lot of new technology coming into Spider-Man Homecoming since Stark has gotten involved in the Spider-Man project. If you watch the trailers, you'll see like his little spider emblem will fly off, and it's like a little drone.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
What? Go look at the trailer. Watch the trailer. And you'll see him. He's standing on looks like a side of a clock tower or a building, and all of a sudden the little thing just pops off and flies off. Okay. The suit is intelligent. The suit has artificial intelligence, kind of like Jarvis.
That's a new one. Okay.
And since he kind of exposes himself to his, I guess his best friend, he ends up having they hack the suit, and he has what's called training wheel protocol. So the suit's capable of all these different, a lot more function of what he could do, but it's been restricted by Stark because Stark doesn't quite trust him yet.
I'm on the fence about that one, but I see where you're going with it.
It's kind of interesting. It's different.
Because when you said it, I thought of that movie, The Tuxedo.
Wow, that's a way back machine. Oh man.
Hey, now we're talking about Spider-Man. I want to ask you, like, if they could make another, like, it's probably Spider-Man coming 2 or later on down the line, who would you want to see as like an additional Spider-Man character? Would you like to see Miles Morales, which is the Ultimate Spider-Man, when he appears in the Ultimate Universe? The Scarlet Spider, which is Ben Reilly, which is, I believe, Peter Parker's clone. Spider-Woman, which is Gwen Stacy. The Superior Spider-Man, which is Dr. Octopus when he took over Peter Parker's mind.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that one.
There's Spider-Girl, who is Peter Parker's daughter, I believe. Yeah, Peter Parker's daughter supposed to take up his mantle. And then there's, of course, Jessica Drew, which is Spider-Woman, the Spider-Woman.
The one with the black suit and the red hair, I think.
No, this is the one with the she got the red. No, I think she had that suit too. I think she cycled through 3 suits. One of them was blue and white. One is red, and she's got like yellow gloves, and she got the little webs under her arms.
Yeah. I would like to actually see a female character in the Spider world, either one of the 2 or 3 that you mentioned. I mean, a lot of the new series we're seeing, look at Logan. They actually bring out X-23 now, which is a female version of Logan.
Yeah.
You see, who do they? Oh, and the Mummy we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm.
They changed Aminette from a male to a female type character. There was one other example of gender bending in the comic series, but I'd like to see a little bit of that. I think it's a nice shakeup to bring a different twist, different. They don't have to take the role over, but come in as a great supplemental character.
Yeah, one thing I didn't like about any of the movies is that it was always male dominated. They had female characters in it, but they weren't like. I want to see the bad girl. Like, we never got to see the bad girls in any of them. It was always Peter Parker, either Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows.
Bring in Black Cat. Bring in
Silver
Spider Girl or Spider Woman. Any of those characters great to bring in.
Oh, by the way, there's supposed to be a Black Cat and Silver Sable movie coming out.
Really?
Next, you know how they had like the Venom movie, which the Venom movie is coming out too.
Yep.
So yeah, that's supposed to be a Black Cat, Silver Sable.
That's a couple years down the road though. But you know what? I do think I saw something about that on, was it Cineblend or something like that? Or Cineblend. Yeah. So I try to catch a lot of movie sites, but there's so much going on right now.
I wouldn't mind if they had a clone storyline going on in one movie, and Peter Parker decides by the end of the movie he decides he wants to either hang up the mantle or he possibly got killed, and then the clone, which would be Ben Reilly, picks up the mantle.
That would be interesting.
Spider-Man. Yeah, that'd be a pretty good movie to go by. I want to know who the hell they had to kill him, but
yeah, well, maybe he just screws up and just does it by accident. Oops. Or gets vaporized or something. My bad. He did.
He got killed trying to stop a train. Let me stop. That was a Spider-Man too, yeah.
He's squishy. Ew. But I would like to. I kind of was interested. I also liked. We talked about this many moons ago. With the Sam Raimi films with Tobey Maguire in there. No, yeah, Tobey Maguire, who had the organic spider shooters, web slingers, and stuff.
Yeah, I really did like that.
I thought that was also a really cool twist that they did. And I don't know. I mean, the comics really never threw that out there. He was always more of a technical genius. But I thought that organic thing was cool. And I would like to actually see them. I don't know. I doubt if they're going to do it because we've already seen the new Homecoming Spider-Man, so he's more technical and he won't have that organic ability.
Yeah.
So we'll know he's all technology, but they're going to kind of cram a lot. Again, if you catch the trailers and teasers on YouTube or your favorite movie website that you go to, in fact, I found a picture of Shocker, and he's going to kind of look similar to the yellow mesh looking suit, but in this case it's going to be kind of like his mask and his arms are going to have that pattern, but his actual suit's kind of like a bluish orange color. So it doesn't have quite the installation factor. And then the gloves, of course, are going to be very similar to what you saw, modified versions of what we saw.
I think I see it. Ain't he wearing like a vest? What, he wearing like a vest?
It's kind of what looks like a vest. Yeah, it's an orange and bluish color, blue pants or black pants. And then he's got the standard color that we're expecting to see with the shocker gloves on.
Okay. It actually don't look bad.
No, and granted, now remember, this is, in the storyline, I understand that the guy who had him originally gets taken out, and this guy takes him over and modifies him. Yeah. So, it's a work in progress, which is fine. If they're going to carry on the storyline with the Homecoming Spider-Man, we'll definitely see more character development. We're going to have the Vulture. We'll have the Shocker now. I would hope. A lot of people have been trying to protest and get, the Sinister Six, which I was hoping they would have carried on with the last series, but it kind of got so stupid with the storyline that, it was almost kind of a wash. They teased it. You had Rhino in there. You had Goblin 2 in there.
They should have did better with that story if they wanted to go ahead and do the Sinister Six. But hopefully they can incorporate the Sinister Six in with the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I hope so, because I really want to. One of the characters I've always thought was really cool was Mysterio.
I want to see him take the spotlight a little bit because he's too much. He's an interesting character, but I want to see what they can do with him.
Mysterio, in our now ability, technological ability in movies, would be really, really cool. They could do so much cool stuff with Mysterio's character. I would also want to see, just for raw savageness, Kraven the Hunter too.
I want to see how they do that too. I could see that probably be somewhat of a link. Like, could you think with the Kraven the Hunter character, there'll be somewhat of a link to probably like the Black Panther?
There could be, but I don't really remember a lot of crossover with Kraven and the Black Panther. Not a lot at all, actually. But the family line, I think, had some dealing with around the area. One of Black Panther's nemesis. Hang on, let's go do the internet, shall we? I think the guy who's playing in the movie, his nemesis is.
I looked it up. I seen that too. What was the name of that guy? Like, I wouldn't mind Kraven the Hunter being something of a bad guy to Black Panther, because if you think about it, he's he hunts rare animals and stuff like that, and he's kicking all types of ass. Hunting specialty type characters. Spider-Man happens to be on this list at one point. Why not?
Kraven is a pretty wild character, and the family line, the story with it is very interesting as well. Eric Killmonger, that's the guy I was thinking of. He was thrown out of Wakanda and forced into exile, and he ended up coming back working with Ulysses Claw. And if you know who Ulysses Claw is, you'll know from Secret Wars, and you'll also know he has kind of a vibranium body. He's able to control his body at a molecular level. And he's always after trying to get more antimonium, which is how he kind of runs into the storyline of Black Panther. And I'm pretty sure they're going to end up making him as one of the characters that you'll see in the Black Panther series.
Okay.
They've already introduced him. He was in Age of Ultron. He was the guy on the ship when Ultron showed up to steal all the...
Oh, the guy that got his arm torn off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He will end up coming back at some point and be his character, Ulysses Claw.
He's gonna look like the Winter Soldier because he's got his arm torn off.
Well, in the comic series, his arm looks like a giant antenna, or like a satellite dish antenna.
Wow.
And he's able to do sound and other things along those lines. It's pretty wild. But Dr. Doom ended up using him for his own evil plans. So
what was the name of the guy again?
Ulysses Claw. And the other guy was called Eric Killmonger.
Let me see who this cat is. I think I might have seen him before.
Now, Killmonger hasn't shown up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as of right now. I do believe he's anticipated to be one of the characters in the Black Panther movie.
Yeah, he's supposed to be one of them.
Basically because he was supposed to take the throne next, and all kind of hell broke loose with him.
Oh, okay. I mean, look, he don't look too bad. He do look kind of beefy though.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah, like kick some butt. I mean, let me not look at that. Look like he can rip something. That's pretty interesting. I'm on with that. What other superheroes you like to see in the Spider-Man? Like if they, because you got obviously he's going to be teaming up with Tony Stark at some point in this movie. But would you like, if they didn't have Tony Stark, who would you like him to team up with?
Well, let's see who hides in that area of. I say Batman, but wrong universe. Spider-Bat. It would be a good one to team up with. Isn't there, what's the guy, the vampire dude?
Morbius?
Yes, I would like to see him tie in with him, because I've seen a couple comic series where he comes in.
I don't mind Morbius, but I don't want him to be like he was in the TV show. I want him to be an actual vampire.
Well, the comics, he's like a really pasty white dude. He's got the fangs. He's got the dark hair. He's very kind of skeletal looking.
Yeah,
he's trying to find the cure for his condition, but he still, has to fight the fact that he is what he is.
Yeah.
But he would be an interesting one to see tie in, because not a lot of people even know who the character is or what he's about.
I also want to see how they will be able to do that. Because from what we know now, there's no such thing as vampires in the MCU. Like, how could they bring that in?
Well, let's see. How did he become? He was. Well, they have a lot of supernatural characters in the MCU. He tried to cure himself with a rare blood disease, is what it was, and he basically made himself the way he is. Vampire bats, electroshock therapy. It made his condition worse, called pseudo-vampirism, that mimicked the powers and bloodthirsty of vampires. He has to suck blood.
I just thought about that. There's one other character that happened to. Did you ever watch Justice League Gods and Monsters?
No.
That's how Batman became a vampire. It was something similar to that. He had like cancer or something.
So he's trying to cure himself. He should have just kind of used the what do they call them? The tanks. Oh, why am I having such brain damage today?
Tanks.
Lazarus Pit.
The Lazarus Pit.
Yes. The Lazarus
this wasn't Bruce Wayne. It was a different guy.
Oh.
Like the Gods and Monsters is like a different universe. Like it isn't Kal-El isn't Superman. Zod's son is Superman.
Oh wow.
It's like Wonder Woman, she's not the same Diana Prince. It's a woman from I think not Apocalypse. What's the other one?
Darkseid?
No, Apocalypse is where he reigns, but there's another planet where like his opposite, where his son lives.
Oh,
I can't remember the name.
I can see it.
But there's
like 4 of them total.
Yeah, it's a woman from one. She's one of the new gods, and she's the Wonder Woman. And and then Batman is this guy who again he got turned into a vampire. It was actually pretty. It's actually a pretty good. And I hadn't watched the series yet.
Well, they also had this thing they were advertising, talking about venomizing a whole universe. So all the superheroes and
with the symbiotes.
Yeah, everybody is basically a version of Venom. Like the whole thing, it's really crazy.
It wouldn't surprise me. I thought that's where they were going to go with the whole, what was it, the Venom Invasion series.
Well, they had one where, Venom, I mean, basically the was it Star Labs or AIM? I think it was AIM, because they have Mordok. Mordok would be cool to show up in a movie too.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it. It'd be gross as hell, but I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Yeah, Mordok would be trippy to see in there. But giving the symbionts, the team that they made with the symbionts would be great to see also. And they could even go against Spider-Man. That would be another movie in itself. Or a Venom him team up and they could use the symbionts as that.
I wouldn't mind seeing them because they had that Maximum Carnage where Spider-Man had to team up with Venom to take out Carnage.
Yep. I have a comic book somewhere.
That would be a great movie. That would be.
It would be. The Carnage alone. Carnage is probably one of the second most recognized characters in at least the Marvel Universe because he's just psycho.
Yeah.
And if you've read the series, I mean, I know my son's got the comic series with the Carnage and Venom in it. So it was pretty cool. And it could be pretty gruesome too. I mean, it would be a not PG movie, that's for sure.
No,
especially with Carnage. He was just too psycho. That Cassidy guy was a nut job to begin with, and it just made him even worse.
One of my things about the Carnage character is this what made me like, okay, I really like this character. It was one comic strip I read where he was put in jail with these other meta-humans and stuff like this. It was like the worst of the worst or whatever. And he literally killed everybody in the jail.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody could stop him. He just literally just killed everybody.
Yeah, because he
was messed up.
He was a psycho.
It was kind of cool. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I really wouldn't. I actually like Carnage. And the whole Spider-Man thing. Do you think they should go ahead and go with the whole he got a thing? Or do you think that'd be going a little bit too dark?
On the which part?
When human tarantula thing. I don't know if that was just the television show or if that was actually in the comics. Because it was one episode. Yeah, it was one episode he was in the comics where he became this actual like human tarantula hybrid.
Yes, I remember that.
Punisher that had to get the Punisher to help them stop him.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen that. I do remember at one point. In fact, actually, there was an animated cartoon with that in there, but it was a more modernized. It wasn't as tarantula. He was more genetically altered.
Yeah,
and he had the really thin spider instead of the really thick body, but the thin spider type, extra legs. That was helping him out.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, I think that played on Disney XD because they had the Spider-Man series on there with a bunch of the other weird characters. That Spider-Man series they had on Disney XD had a lot of different characters that didn't show up in the regular series.
Wasn't it not the Amazing Spider-Man, not the Spectacular Spider-Man? It was what is the name of that Spider-Man series? Because I watched it. People complained about it because it was a little too goofy.
The animated one or the live action?
The animated one. It's like the newest one. It ain't new, but it is the newest one. People said it was kind of goofy, and I watched a little bit of it, and I could kind of see what they were saying. It does come off a little, it does come off kind of kiddish. But it was all right. It was all right to me. One of the things I did like in that series was Doc Ock. Doc Ock was like this mad scientist that was obsessed with Spider-Man. I liked that idea. That was pretty cool.
I like Doc Ock. Doc Ock is one of those interesting characters. In the Tobey Maguire series, he was more of a tragic anti-hero eventually.
Yeah.
But, I thought it was cool because just watching it and being in a theater and hearing Doc Ock walking on the ground and feeling that, and then he's throwing cars and junk at people. It's like,
that was cool. That was,
you know, when he's in the bank, when he's robbing the bank, you know, he rips that vault door off and throws it, you know, without even any effort. I thought that was pretty cool. I was a really great iteration of Doc Ock. Tragic character, but man, he was freaking sweet while he was on the screen, though.
Yeah, they did him justice. Alfred Molina, I think that's the guy that played him. He did a great job.
Yeah, he also does a lot of other stuff, a lot of classical theater, like Fiddler on the Roof was what he went to right after doing this. He's also shown up in several other movies too, which, you know, you didn't recognize him. I was like, oh, because he's got a beard or.
Yeah.
You know. And then you sit there and you're like looking at this guy and you're like, man, I know this guy from somewhere. Where is he from?
Yeah.
And then it kicks into your head like, oh, yeah. Now I remember.
You don't even say his name anymore. You just say Doc Ock.
Yeah, he's forever Doc Ock. He's never going to lose that.
They're going to have his names in the credits. It's going to be like Doc Ock.
Yep, just come on. Just save your time.
Yeah.
See your resume, Doc Ock. Oh, all right.
Hey, have you played any of the Spider-Man games?
No, I can't say that I have, actually. I think one of the ones I played was like really old, like not Atari, but pretty old in the video gaming world. I think my kid had one on a Nintendo or maybe it was an early PlayStation.
They have like they had the one where the Web of Shadows, where Spider-Man, where New York is being invaded by all the with these symbiotes. So Spider-Man. Now this game I did like because Spider-Man teamed up with other characters, and you can either be good or you can be bad. And if you were good, you teamed up with like Luke Cage, Wolverine, Moon Knight, and if you were bad, you teamed up with like some bad, like the villains. But you had to fight like it seemed like each character got infected with the symbiote, and you had to beat them, to free them. And that's what that's what I thought you was going with the symbiote thing, because it was like that was a pretty, I don't know if that's an actual storyline, but I think it is. But like I wouldn't mind that being like a movie or something like that. Also, they had one where it was like Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. I didn't play it, but I was watching somebody play it, and then there was all these Spider-Mans from different dimensions. I don't remember,
kind of like Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I don't remember like the full like what the story was about. I did read up on it, but I don't remember. But you got to play all these different Spider-Mans in different time periods and stuff.
That would be cool.
Well, I don't know if it was specifically time periods, but I know it was these different alterations. Because one of them was like a neo-noir setting, and I don't think he could shoot his webbing. I don't think he had any webbing.
I think I've seen one where they had a steampunk look at Spider-Man too.
I know they had the future one. The future one looked pretty cool.
Well, they had a Spider-Man. Well, Marvel did a series of comics. There was Doom 2099, Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah. He looked pretty cool.
And there was one other one, but they had like 3 or 4 of the series. And the Spider-Man 2099 was pretty cool for its time. It was more of a graphic novel style.
Yeah,
it was pretty damn cool. And they had a lot of new tech and stuff. Granted, now I don't see how long ago was that. When was that? 1992. But he had like this really cool looking suit and all the abilities and everything. Plus, he was really technologically advanced. It was pretty freaking sweet. And they did a little bit different storyline too. It wasn't Peter Parker. It was a guy named Miguel.
Yeah. What's the guy's name? Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah. And they basically, used him as a technological guinea pig. And it was pretty cool. So I thought that was pretty neat. I read a little bit of it. There was, I think, a few in that series, and then they just kind of killed it off.
Yeah.
I don't remember how many they did. 1, 2, 46, 58, 60, 70, 82 episodes, or 82 issues. But It was pretty cool though. 92, 24. Actually, as soon as 2015, they're on volume 3 right now. So as of May, they're on volume 3, number 23. So I don't know. I didn't know they actually made that anymore.
Okay.
That's
Do you
pretty
think they
sweet.
can, like if they're gonna make another movie, you think they can bring out the Spider Slayers?
They could. I mean, you gotta, when you start getting into multiple, that's the problem that you run into. You run into so many multiple characters that,
Yeah.
look at what's going to happen with Infinity War. Infinity War is going to be insane. You're going to have pretty much all the characters you've seen in any Marvel movie in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And some you hadn't even seen are going to show in that movie. Civil War had a lot to begin with. You had 10 characters in there. Now let's stack it up to Infinity War, and you're talking, what's the list up to, 25 or 30 now?
I can't give them this about Civil War. They did a great job of making like all the characters relevant.
Yeah, no one really lost out any time. You saw a perspective from Captain America's point of view, and then you saw Tony Stark and his kind of point of view, and then kind of everybody's struggle in between.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen? What's my thoughts? And you got a lot, and they did it in 2.5 hours. It was not bad. But when we start talking Infinity War, we're going to see a whole lot of something going on, and I'm really kind of eager to see what they're going to do. But I hope they just do not trash and destroy the whole Infinity War series.
I don't think they're going to do it.
There's a lot of work. I think they already started filming anyway on it. I know I've seen a lot of. Actually, I know they're filming on it because after they finished Spider-Man, they started having Chris Evans and Tony Stark all got together and started doing it. Scarlet Witch and all the regular characters we saw plus some. So Infinity War is filming.
Hey, I'm looking up on this website. It says the MCU Spider-Man movie wish list. 5 things we want to see. One of the things they said is they want the people to hate Spider-Man.
What?
Or they don't trust him or they don't appreciate him. I could kind of see where they were going with that. Because I kind of see it because that'll also be a good thing for the character. He could be like, well, nobody appreciates what I'm doing. Why am I doing this?
Well,
that's when the whole with great power comes great responsibility. I could kind of see that being a good thing, but I also can admit that it wouldn't make sense for him to be saving, like every other superhero movie. If they do enough saving of the public, what happens? The public loves them. So I'm on the fence about that one.
Oh, no freaking way. They're bringing the man-ape in there?
Oh, that dude wearing that white, the dude wearing that white man ape suit?
Yes.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, wow. They're going to have... I'm just quickly reading over the cast for Infinity War, okay? We have... We're going to get our crossover. We're going to have Guardians of the Galaxy plus Doctor Strange plus Winter Soldier and our usual in our regular game. Nick Fury is rumored. Thanos obviously is going to be playing a strong role in this movie. Actually, you know what? Remember our talk? I said what the movie would be really cool is you don't have to see a lot of Thanos, but you see things that are happening in the background, and you might get a little bit of him here and there. And at the end, he ends up with the gauntlet after he's already messed up with everybody. Yeah, Black Panther's going to be in there, which would be cool because I want to see more Black Panther. We also got M'Baku, the man-ape.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing about him.
And Valkyrie. Who's Valkyrie? Valkyrie, she must be... she's coming in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Okay. Vision, Thor, all the regular characters. So Yondu might actually make it, but he's dead. So I'm very interested. There's a lot of people. That's almost 20 plus people right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, and that's granted Thanos being the main bad guy in here, but oh, even Ant-Man's gonna make an appearance. Awesome. I like Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. I think he played the.
Yeah,
I think he played it. They did a really interesting twist with Ant-Man because the original character was being played by Michael Douglas, and he comes on and ends up becoming a kind of a crony Ant-Man.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like what? And the thing is, the Vision was designed off of the Michael Douglas's character in the movie.
Okay.
Or in a comic series. So, you know, there's a lot of tie-in right there. So, and Spider-Man's going to make a run for it. He'll be in there too. So, Tom Holland reprising his role as Spider-Man.
Hey, let me ask you this. In the new Spider-Man movie, should it be only one villain?
I don't think I've ever actually even seen a Spider-Man episode where there's always just one villain. You know, and in this movie, we're going to see Shocker. We're going to see the Vulture. We might even see one or two other little characters, or they might mention them. You know, you'd have to have a very strong, like Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Venom, you know, some hard-hitting single characters to do a one bad guy show.
Yeah.
Somebody who can challenge and keep the character busy. With some of your more weaker characters, I don't say weaker, but you know, the less organized, you know, smaller characters that tie in together, just like we saw in where you had the Green Goblin 2 and Electro. You know, two separate characters altogether, although related through technology at Oscorp.
Yeah, that's what I think one of the things about them putting so many bad guys in the same movie is the fact that they weren't like, there was no reason for them to even be like, there was nothing connecting them.
They don't complement each other at all.
Yeah, like I can understand if, say, the Green Goblin was hiring these bad guys to do his dirty work. That'll make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it just can't be okay. One bad guy popped up, and another bad guy just popped up for no reason.
Just out of the blue, you know. Oh, hey, well, I thought we'd just show up at the same time. What? Get out of here. Now, you have to have a good anchor, and you can have a great supporting character, but if you're going to do a one-on-one, it's got to be somebody really worthwhile, really heavy hitter. That's why they came up with the Sinister Six. You had a couple heavy hitters in there from the regular series and brought them into the whole group. You know, the Rhino by himself, nothing. Shocker by himself, nothing. Mysterio by himself, nothing. You know, all these different characters, but combine them together, the Vulture, Mysterio, Kraven the Hunter, Shocker, and all them, you get a very large team with a very large diversification, and you really get to see how much skill Parker has actually come up with. You know, he's smart on his feet, and he's got to be, he takes a pounding too. I mean, if you've watched any of the Sinister Six comics or, you know, the little quickie cartoons, he gets his butt handed to him several times, and he has to think smarter because those characters, even though they're together fighting him, they're not together themselves. They're not they're not being smart together. And so that's how he is able to beat them, is pitting them against each other.
See, I never liked that. I always, because I'm like, you fighting 6 villains. Come on now, you got to get some help from somebody.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to spank you somewhere. But in some of the series, he did get handed pretty bad, and he ended up, you know, having to get the heck out of Dodge.
That's one thing I didn't like about that episode, the cartoon episode where they had the Sinister Six. He was fighting all 6 of them. They was beating them, but it was like, even though he was like getting to them individually, and he was like causing dissension and stuff, and that's kind of how he beat them. But I was like, come on now, this is 6 some of your worst villains. You got to get some help.
Yeah,
you should have got some help on that. Daredevil, Punisher, something.
Yeah, bring in somebody. You know, because he's strong, but he's not that damn strong. You're not like you're fighting Thor or the Hulk or something like that. You know, you're fighting 6 different characters, 6 different fighting styles. You know, you only got so much web, man.
Yeah, that's one thing I do want to do better. If you're gonna do those Sinister Six thing, come on now. Spider-Man can't beat all 6 of them by himself. Come on. And a lot of times when he fights them one by one, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no walking apart. They giving him a run for his money. So if you got 6 people, you know what I'm saying? You got to be a little bit more fair. Like if they got to get help, you got to get help. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they had to bring 5 other people with them to get into this fight.
Oh, snap.
Take you out.
Yeah, the timer's up.
Oh, I thought we had about 7 more minutes, but
hey, man, we're gonna probably circle back to it in another video. What's going on, guys? Thank you guys for watching the video and getting in this discussion with another Spider-Man video. We were just talking about everything about, you know, our web slinger here. In the comment section below, guys, let us know some things that we did not know and did not cover, and also let us know some things that you want us to cover and talk about when it comes to Spider-Man. Also, don't be afraid to hit that like, share, subscribe, that notification button. Let us know that you appreciate what we do. We're gonna keep on doing it, and if you don't like what we're doing, we're gonna still keep on doing it.
Whether you like it or not, you don't have to listen to us.
But anyway, the next episode, you want to go ahead and jump on this Riddick? Talk about
I'm all for some Riddick. Why not?
Yeah, because I do want to get some ideas out there.
I'm Groot.
All right, then, guys, you heard it. We're going to be talking about the Chronicles of Riddick, and we hope y'all join us for the next episode. See you in a few.